I've been wanting to reflect on this for a very long time, and I haven't had the chance. I was trying to find the right time to do it, and I figured, today would be the day to do so. So I just decided to reflect on my friendship with, the lovely Angelique, as I nickname her Angel, you know. Um, so to cap it off, we started well technically on my friendship, where it says on this day, and for instance, sometimes they'll show that on my memory feed when I see like I've been friends with this certain person on Facebook since I could have sworn me and Angel met in 2016 because that's when we literally started our friendship. Although it was, it was pretty. We didn't really become close yet until the following year, which is 2017. It says on my Facebook is if I looked at the when was this, like late November. I looked on my memory feed for when I met some of these friends, and there was actually a few of them. Rhea was one of them, and believe it or not, Angel was in there. So you're telling me that we started becoming friends. She might have added me on on that around that time, which was in November of 2015. Interesting. Even though we didn't really start talking until the next year, which was 2016, and this was in January, like early January. I remember the friendship date because I reflected on our friendship anniversary before. So to be exact, it was the 12th of January. So even though she started getting into my friend list, or she might have like I might have added her, or she might I might have accepted her friend request on on that time, which was in November of 2015, when really we did not start talking until 2016. We started talking, you know we met, but it wasn't until the following year when we started developing our friendship. And that was the year 2017 when we started to develop our friendship. For some reason, I thought that our friendship, started in 2017. When I looked back, um, it actually started the year before, which is 2016. Now, we weren't that close yet. I still had a lot of people, that I met from like that year, 2016, and as well as 2015, that I spent more time with, such as Sam and Lovely Mel and Christine, and those people like that. And later on, it was Kirill, and then Emily, and then yeah, a lot of people, believe me, and even Gwen too, and Mao. You know what I'm saying? So Angel was the following year, and that's when we started to develop our friendship, and they started to become closer friends. And I have to admit, I doubt she may even see this video. She does not have a YouTube account, for all I remember, and if I'm not mistaken, I think she needed to have Wi-Fi to watch YouTube. I don't know if that's the case now, but I don't know if she has a YouTube account at this point, but I doubt she does. I remember she told me she doesn't have one, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. When me and Angel developed our friendship in 2017, I had to admit I had a crush on her, and she found me good looking, and I just thought she was one of the, and she will not agree to this, even if she were to see this video, that I gotta say she's one of the prettiest, you know, ladies, especially from the popsters that I've ever met. There's a lot of pretty popsters that I've met. Um, going from Sam to Rhea to Angel, Monica, so many of them. I swear, like they some of them have even don't even want to admit that they're so, you know, they're that attractive and they're that beautiful, but especially Rhea, man. I even told her one time that she has some of the prettiest eyes I ever met. She was not willing to admit, and I think I might have shied her too much. But yeah, she was such a sweetheart of a friend that I've ever met, and so is Angel. And I gotta admit, Angel's one of the most attractive, you know, girls I've ever met as friend of Popsters, and and I'm glad to even have her as one of my closest friends from that group. We're both Sarah fans, and we are both into art, and we've done a lot of edits. As far as like Sarah related and all that. We have that same interest of when it comes to such artworks and editing, collaging, especially Sarah related. And so, you know, me and Angel, I don't want to say too much here, and you know, I don't want to go into every single like moment as far as our friendship is concerned. I just want to briefly reflect here. That like aside from Angel being one of the prettiest girls I've ever met, you know, whether she likes it or not that I said that about her, um, her personality is very humbling, very kind. She's very sweet, and she is truly caring, especially to me. I remember she used to ask me, for some favors of helping her out on some of her schoolworks, or even her brother's projects or something like that. And I was always willing to help, even if I was so late. I was always willing to help, you know, and I showed that I was just as truly caring to Angel as she has been to me. And there's only been some people that have asked me for favors, and that was just that. It wasn't really showing a true friendship. And there's about there's a couple of them that I know, and Angel's one of them, Mari's another one, and at one point Goliath was another one, um, like way back in 2015 and 16, where they were truly friends to me. And Angel was definitely one of the most caring, and she's she's truly a one of a kind. I think that she's very chill. She's one of the nicest, and you know I'm just glad that we have such a good to great chemistry um, on our friendship, and talking about different things. And even though I've been in my worst a whole lot, she's seen a whole lot of that. um, she stuck around, and I know right now we haven't talked, and I've not been on social media. I know it turns out that good thing that the Angel is not officially fed up with me, even though she is on my ex close friend memorial wall. You know, like Joanne, she's not officially fed up with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's good news to me. You know, I think it's just she was just greatly irritated that I was just very stubborn and hard headed and just not listening to her advice. And unfortunately, I made her react the way that she reacted, and out of frustration, out of anger, and I get all that. But to me, as I'm speaking on this topic, this friendship topic, you know, I'm, I'm of the mindset that me and Angel will definitely have a future in our friendship. You know, as as strong as we are as Sarah fans, and especially when it comes to doing some artworks for Sarah or the Popsters, right? Um, you know, in regards to our friendship, I think there will definitely be a future. Hell, I emailed her recently, and she responded one time saying that, that's what I've been telling you all along in regards to her advice to me. Then I responded back to her on email, and she never responded after that. So right now, we're still kind of in a break off period where we're not talking. I know that she's one of the very many that I thought that it was over with and done in our friendship, and it turns out it's not. So, like I said, there will definitely be a future for us in our friendship. I'm hopeful for it because I truly miss Angel, and the fact that she's been so loyal to me, like Mari and Sam, that I know she's busy with her work and other things, family time and all that. But just looking at her as a person, not only is she so beautiful on the outside, but inside as well. You know, so I gotta truly appreciate somebody like Angel, who, you know, maybe not so great an English speaker as I am, but hey, you know, she can speak, you know, and to me to this day, you know, she ain't departed from my heart yet. Nah, she hasn't. So she'll still be my friend going into the future, and I know I'm gonna need a new job to prove at least a majority of the people that have been seemingly fed up with me that I can be a much better person, and that's still something I gotta work with. But you know, I just thought I'd get into this topic. I'm just glad that the one thing I will say is, even when I was out of social media for a year and a half, Angel is one of the people who was willing to keep in touch with me. She was truly very loyal, caring, and expressing concern for me, as far as my worst is concerned. And I'm glad that me and Angel had the opportunity to just continue keeping in touch via Google Hangouts. I think I have that app still. I don't know. It might have just been offloaded. But yeah, we had an opportunity to continue keeping in touch. As I look back in the rest of 2018, it was good. We continue to have these really nice, solid, at times really exciting conversations, right? That have really made me appreciate our friendship more, you know? So I just thought, you know, I just, oh man, I miss Angel. If you're listening to this video, I just want you to know I miss you. I miss, our friendship, and I believe there will be a future for us once my mental health gets much, much better. So, you know, I just hope you're listening to this, and in the end, I gotta work on myself. So, I'm glad we kept in touch, even outside of social media and even through email, when I was still out. So, you know, I'm just thankful for a friend like Angel as I look back. And I know at times there's been times, and she's not the only one, as is with some others who used to be so caring for me as well, that I may not show it enough, but as I speak on this in the year 2025, I have to admit, Angel is truly, a one of a kind, that she is one of the most caring and supportive and loyal to me, and I'm glad I have a friend like her, who has proven that to me since day one. So I'm also glad I've done so much for her, as far as like fan arts, and especially Sarah related, and hell, done every single shout out for her birthday, and done birthday fan arts for her. I still have them to this day. And even I remember, as you can see in the beginning of this clip, what was then our 7-year friendship anniversary. I think I've done a shout out to our every friendship anniversary as well. I don't think every single one, but I know for her birthday I've done so. especially basketball shoot arounds. And I'm still, like, in tribute to her birthday, and I'm still doing them, done it this year. And I might have another one, like, like her birthday game, it's going to be in my home court, and that will be sometime later in the month September before the season closes. So, yep. Thing is, I've done so much for her, and she's done as much as for me too. I've saved all her stuff, especially for my birthday, where and she wrote like it was like a handwritten letter, if I'm not mistaken. You know, just addressing my birthday shout out to me, and you know, and yeah. So we are equally as loyal to one another, as I've seen. So I may have had so much distraction in this social media world, and but now that I'm out of it, as I'm doing this topic, I have now come to even just realize and appreciate somebody like Angel more. And like I said, I definitely see a future in our friendship. You know, once I get better through my mental health process, right? But she has been definitely one of the most caring, appreciative of a friend that I've ever met, and I hope that will continue going forward. And yep, so you know, I believe there will be a future for us. And while I'm out of social media, I still need more time to fix myself, and that's all that matters at this point. So yeah, all right. So I just thought I'd get this out of the way, and just I'm very hopeful for a future in our friendship. I believe it has not ended, and I believe that it will keep going. So, anyways, I'm gonna cut it right here. Peace.